Hey everybody, it's the coach. This is the NFL on EA Sports. Straight ahead, we've got what should be a good one between the Miami Dolphins and the Cleveland Browns. I'll be back with you again with scores around the league at halftime. But kickoff right around the corner. And standing by to call the action, here are Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
We are just a stone's throw away from the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame as we get set for football at First Energy Stadium in Cleveland, Ohio. The folks here in Cleveland, even though all the down years, have never stopped supporting their hometown guys, and we got evidence of that a moment ago as the Browns made their entrance. They are ready to do battle with the Miami Dolphins. With Charles Davis, as always, I'm Brandon Godden. And Charles, you talk about storylines in this one. I think it begins and ends with our two quarterbacks, certainly two of the best in the business.
And nowadays, I don't think you can get by for long periods of time without a top-flight quarterback. The way the game is played, with all the responsibility he has and how the game flows through him, if he's not on the top of his game, your team's not going to benefit at all.
The final playoff push is upon us. It's Week 12 of the NFL season, and we're underway on EA Sports. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll get it up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. So here come the Dolphins now as they get set to take over on offense. And here's a look at their leader, standing 6'4".
And this could be a whole lot of fun because if his game plan goes into effect early, we're going to see some shots downfield, aren't we? What did he talk to us about? Stretching the field. Wants to open things up for not just his receivers, but for anything underneath.
Well, that was the theme, the front page of the sports section. What did the columnist write? Possible air raid. So we'll see.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how the coaches view that, right? Who gave what the game plan? I think it's pretty obvious, though. That'll help them win.
It'll go as a loss of a yard on the game's first play. Second down. On second and 11 now. Marino, flush to his right. Throwing right, and that's complete. And they're able to get this one across the 35. It'll be a pickup of 16 and a Dolphin first down. A little glimpse of his athleticism there and what they're going to have to deal with. He can use his legs to dance around back behind the line of scrimmage and beyond the line of scrimmage.
And wouldn't you love to get a copy of their defensive scouting report going into the week? Because that's been stressed the whole time. Keep him bottled up. Keep him in the pocket. But it's the first drive of the game and emotions are running high. Someone forgot that, trying to make a big play, and gave up a bigger one instead.
The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. Now Marino eluding the pressure right. It's hauled in by Hardy. And he's able to get this one down to the 40-yard line. And they're going to have another first down as he's going to be tackled at the Browns' 40. So a 1st and 10 upcoming from Browns territory now, right at the 40. Now it's Marino being chased out left. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And he's going to get this inside the 30. Give him 12 yards there, and the Dolphins have a first down. The numbers for him from a week ago, 4 catches, 76 yards.
And they've gone to him early in this one. I sense a theme, one that I expect to continue throughout this contest.
And he'll be brought down at about the 25 after a pickup of 4. Well, look now at the starters on the defensive side for the Browns. They were excellent a week ago in the win over Pittsburgh.
And what I saw on film was nearly an unstoppable pass rush. They had 5 sacks last week, plenty of hurries. So now do you just max protect on offense, keep everyone in and run, 1 or 2 receiver routes to make sure your quarterback stays up? We'll soon find out.
From the 25 on second down, Marino steps away to his left. This will be caught inside the 10. And they will eventually get him down, but he's inside the 5 all the way to the 3. A well-executed 22-yard gain. How about the start throwing the football? 4 for 4 on this opening drive.
Oh, he's slinging it. And oftentimes when you talk about slinging it, you're thinking about a guy throwing it all over the yard, not necessarily accurately. In this case, though, he's honing in on his targets, and he's delivering.
Yeah, the opening script, however, they drew it up for this first drive, going to plan so far. No gain on the play that time, and it sets up 2nd and goal. 2nd down and goal. Marino flushed out, and that is caught. Touchdown, Miami. From 3 yards out, and the Dolphins take it right down and score on the opening drive. Looking sharp on that first drive. These guys, of course, coming off back-to-back victories, and you see that kind of advancing into this game, don't you?
You certainly do, and when you have a team that doesn't get too full of itself, even though they've won 2 games in a row, you get the end result that we saw there, that nice opening drive, because they're sharp, they're focused, and they're locked into everything that they're doing.
Now the extra point. And that makes it 7-0 Dolphins. That time a 9-play drive, and it ends with a touchdown for the Dolphins. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. So here come the Browns now for their first drive. And trotting out there, their tall quarterback standing at 6'5".
And what I enjoyed in preparing for this game was talking not just with the coaching staff, but with him as well. And I found it interesting that the coaching staff sees him one way, and he sees himself an entirely different way.
Yeah, one thing he said he's always working on, we know he's not bad at this, but his footwork, always wants to improve that, and that's something he's going to focus on here.
And what was so funny, what the offensive coordinator say right off the top, he's got great footwork. Love his footwork. So this guy is never satisfied.
And a peek now at the offense for Cleveland.
And the schedule makers have given them a little break right here. Back-to-back home games, and they won last week. So they're trying to make it 2 in a row before they hit the road next week. They have to take advantage of this break in the schedule.
Now back to throw. He'll buy some time right. Going right side here, and that's complete. And he's brought down after a very nice gain. It'll go as a gain of 25 on a play that started back at the 25. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. That's good for a Cleveland first down, an 11-yard pickup. He was solid last week, over 100 yards in their victory on the ground. They want to get that going again.
Absolutely. What they also understand is that from week to week, it's not necessarily the same, but they want it to be, right? What they saw last week on the ground, they want to see in this game as well.
He was locked in. 2 trips to the end zone, Charles, over 100 yards receiving.
How about the combination of route running, confidence going downfield, and the ability to go up and get the football? You're exactly right. It was hard for them to stop him.
After 7-0 on EA Sports.
Got it. 53, check 53, 61, match box, lights. Now.
2nd and 3. And this one's incomplete.
I think he's a little trigger happy right there, and it turned into an ill-advised throw into their zone.
Well, we know he has confidence. He'll throw it any place, anytime, anywhere. That time it fell incomplete. He'll drop to throw. Rolling to his left. And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down.
Let's go, boys. Let's go.
Well, competition comes up in so many different ways, and right now, this unit, their competition is who's going to get to the quarterback the most times. Had about 5 sacks last week, and we just saw their first one of this game.
So now the Browns will turn it over to their field goal unit here. From the left hash, this will be a 52-yard attempt. And that one's not going to get there. Not enough juice. An ambitious effort, but it's well short. And this score will stay right where it is.
NFL kickers nowadays, they make things look so easy because normally from this range, about 2 out of 3. And this is not an easy kick.
Yeah, 20 years ago, you get where he was in that 50 range, maybe a little over. And it's a big kick, but now we just, if they leave it short, you're like, whoa, what happened? And that's what we have here.
Yeah, you're right. 20 years ago, we were saying run some more plays and get closer. Now we think they're definitely within range, and you're exactly right. When it comes up short, there has to be something that went wrong because they have plenty of leg.
Here's Marino to throw, escaping the pressure right. And they'll wind up getting this to the 37, gain of 9.
It is hard in zone coverage to stop a curl route because when they see it, they just try and find the open spot and sit down.
Yeah, we always talk about finding the soft spot in the zone. What's the key to doing that? How do you do it?
You have to read what the coverage is. Is it 2 deep? Is it 3 deep? Because then you know where the linebackers are going to drop, what spots in the field they naturally get to, and you find that open space, and then you're in sync with your quarterback. He should be reading the exact same thing, and they put the ball right on you.
And he'll take it from the 18 to the 15, a gain of 3.
Well, he hasn't made much of an impact in the running game thus far, and after that last run, not much is going to change in that area.
He hasn't been able to get anything going, and really the offensive line not helping him much. Marino's second down throw, incomplete.
That would have been a great catch, but it's real difficult to hold on to it because it was contested all the way. Would have been a great play if he'd been able to haul that one in.
Flush to his right. To the goal line, but it's incomplete.
Certainly looked like they were getting ready to convert there on 3rd down, but what an effort to get his hand on that one, knock it away, and brings up a 4th down decision.
And his kick is right there. It's good, and the lead moves to 10-zip. So unable to convert for the touchdown inside the red zone, but they do come away with 3.
Yeah, it's a 32-yarder. That's essentially an extra point nowadays, right? Because it's 33 as a general rule for these guys. So it should be a simple kick. But you know what's really strange nowadays? When they miss an extra point, I think they carry that with them longer than missing a field goal because an extra point's supposed to be automatic.
Absolutely, and I would think even field goals inside of 30 yards, even though they're substantially shorter than a PAT, it just has a different feel, doesn't it?
A different feel, a different vibe. That's what I get from all the kickers I talk to. They always say if I miss an extra point, that's the one that bothers me more.
Buying time to his left. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Banks. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Big yardage there for the Browns, 18. One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. Back to throw. Rolling to his right. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. The catch and run, good for 24 yards. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on 1st down. We've hit the 2-minute mark of the first half, 10-0 our score. A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
And now a throw on 1st down there, but it's incomplete.
Nice play there to force the incompletion, and to me, one thing's for sure. When you're the underdogs and you're playing on the road, you absolutely have to get takeaways. You've got to get the ball from them.
Yeah, win that turnover battle, going to be key. They didn't get one there, but you get the feeling they keep making plays like that, they might just get a few.
Yeah, once you get one, defensive teams think they come in bunches.
That one, a gain of 20 and a 1st down. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. Eluding the pressure right. Complete to Newsom. And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5. That'll be a pickup of 10 as they try to recover from this 10-point deficit. 1st and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game. Now a handoff here to his running back. And he takes this one in for a Brown score. A great play there. His 6th touchdown of the season as they are now on the board here in the first half. The way this one was going, you just got the sense they needed something before half. They've at least got something on the board now. Still trailing, but a good sign.
That takes me back to our preseason tour of NFL camps. You remember we talked with that one coach who said his emphasis this year was scoring in the last 2 minutes of a half, heading into the locker room. This hits it right there. Take that momentum, take that good feeling, and take it to the locker room, regroup, and start over. They got it here.
They did indeed. And a lot of football, full half to be played. Now out comes their leader and the captain of this offense back onto the field. He's played a pretty clean first half, a touchdown, no interceptions.
Frankly, that's what they expect out of him. They want to see the ball thrown and thrown well, and he's able to do that and put it in the end zone. They'd love to see more of that before this game finishes. But right now, he's got his team in a good spot.
A good spot, maybe looking for touchdown pass number 2 here in the second quarter. 17 yards for the Dolphins there as they've got themselves a first down. On 1st and 10, it's Marino. Flushed out right. Got a man on the right sideline. It's Clayton. The end result, 21 yards.
As a general rule, offensive linemen like to know where their quarterback's going to be when he's setting up to throw the football. But sometimes they just have to get on the run, get on the move. He was able to do that.
And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. After the sack, it's 2nd and 19, and the road gets a bit tougher from here. That throw by Marino, incomplete. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. From the shotgun, Marino forced out to his left. He's going to run, but he's got a long way to go. Give him 9 on the play, and that's going to bring up a 4th down. And we're going to get a timeout with 2 seconds remaining in the second quarter. And likely time for one final play here in the half, so they will go for it on 4th down. Now Marino to throw it, escaping the pressure right. A desperation heave for the end zone. And that is going to be incomplete. So we've hit halftime, just a field goal separating these two teams at the break. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. Things starting to get interesting in this final weekend before Thanksgiving. So let's see what's going on around the NFL. Lastly, let's check on one final game for you. And you can see they are scoreless as they play the second quarter. Meanwhile, in our game, it's been a defensive struggle. Which offense can break through in the second half? To find out, let's hand it over to our broadcast team of Brandon Gotton and Charles Davis.
Thank you, sir. A field goal separates these two teams as we come back for this second half. The Dolphins in front, and they'll be in possession of the football first as the second half gets started. Now a hit and a loose football.
When you kick off and you go downfield and get the ball back, that's what I call a great opportunity.
In a one-score game, I always circle, and you know this, but in my play-by-play sheet, I circle big plays. It could be turning points. This could be a turning point.
Did you put a second circle around this one? This is pretty big.
I put a star. The drive starting play, a good one. Give him 19. From up near the 40 now after the big play to start. Here's another 1st and 10. They'll set up a throw. Flush to his right. Gonna throw right side here. Complete. 5 yards on the catch there. Brings up second down. And to give this time to the tailback. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. That'll move the sticks for the Browns. A gain of 12.
Would you say this offense is locked in right now?
They're having no trouble on this drive. What is it, 3 plays, 3 first downs?
Yeah, you talk about on the march. They keep this up, they'll get to that end zone real fast.
Now here's a pass on first down that's knocked away and incomplete.
On the set.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. 2nd and 10. Eluding the pressure right. He's got a first down or more inside the 30. And he's got another first down as he's brought down at the Dolphins' 27-yard line.
Looked like the defense put pretty good pressure on him, but he's able to flush out to his right to try and evade people. On the run, had to get on his horse. Still accurately throws a nice pass for a first down.
And he'll get about 4 as he's brought down at the 24. Second and 6. Flushed out right. It's caught here by Adams. And they do get him down, but not before he's able to slip it inside the 5-yard line. First target, first catch, and a first down. He'll look to throw, escaping the pressure. And he's going to be swallowed up and taken down. Sacked back at the 5-yard line.
On any first and goal, the real estate to work with for the offense is really cut down, and the defense knows it. So they often bring heat and pressure, which they did on this play. Got him down for a loss. Not a big one, but any loss of yardage in this position is tough for an offense.
The second down play, not much better than the first, just a gain of 1 there. They'll look to throw on 3rd and goal. Blitz coming, and down he goes.
3rd and goal, they decided to throw for it, but how about the play defensively? Couldn't find anyone open, left him nowhere to go with the football, had to absorb the sack.
And his kick is indeed good, and that will knot us up at 10. So they come away from this opening drive of the 3rd quarter with only 3, but it does draw them even.
Yeah, and that has to be job 1, doesn't it? A touchdown definitely would have been nice. We know that. But here, you get back on even terms, and now you've got most of the second half to try and get yourself into a position to win.
So a tie ball game here as the kick's away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. So here are the Dolphins now. They get ready for their first possession of the second half. And on that last drive, went for it on 4th, turned it over. A good job by their defense, though. They held them to 3, but this offense, they've got to be a little bit better, a little bit more careful here.
And sometimes when you see these calls on 4th down, when they decide to go for it, it's not necessarily the coach saying, I believe in my offense. Sometimes the coach saying, I believe in my defense. I can afford to go for it here, because if we don't get it, I don't think we'll give up more than 3, and that's exactly what happened there.
You think that factored in?
I do. I think that he had that in his mind going into the game, that I'm going to be aggressive on offense because I know I've got a defense that can hold up their end.
From the 44, Marino. And it's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And he'll get it out to midfield. Looks like, yeah, they'll spot it right at midfield at the 50. 7 yards there and a first down. And that is going to do it for this 3rd quarter of action. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Some good games going on in the early window. This might be the best of the bunch. From midfield now, Marino, flush to his right. Throwing right, and that's complete. That one good for 13 and a Dolphin first down.
On the double.
They talk about mobility on quarterbacks all the time. Here's where it really pays off. Able to move, evade, and is accurate throwing on the run and picking up a first down.
Now a nice throw here right side. He hauls it in. And they'll get this one to about the 20-yard line. 17 yards for the Dolphins there as they've got themselves a first down.
Got it. Go 58's the mic. We want this.
From the red zone now, Marino on first down. Sliding out of the pocket. His throw caught at about the 5. And he will reach the 5-yard line before going out of bounds. Another strong gain on the last 2 plays. They've moved it a combined 33 yards. A field goal could get him the lead, but it might not be enough here as they come up on first and goal. Eluding the pressure right. He's got it. Touchdown, Dolphins. A 5-yard touchdown. And the Dolphins have taken the lead. And he shows some mobility there, getting outside the tackles, moving to the right, making a nice play.
He had the whole field in front of him and was able to actually throw it about where he was looking, right? He said he moved to the right, had his vision there, and put a nice pass into the end zone for a touchdown.
The point after is good, and that makes it a 17-10 score. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And all that work, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. The Browns drive about to get started. And they had 3 points last time, but they didn't want 3 points because they were well within range of scoring a touchdown. We'll see if they can do better now. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. That's number 4, sack number 4. They had 4 last week, so he's been down on the ground a lot.
Partner, they say the eye in the sky does not lie. And that's indeed the case because they watched the game tape from the previous week, incorporated it into their own defensive scheme, and continue to get after this quarterback.
And now this defense will be searching for sack number 5. They get 14 back, but it leads now to a 3rd down. One of the bigger plays in the game thus far, and the crowd getting into it as we come up on a big 3rd down. They'll look to throw. Flushed out right. Going right side here, and that's complete. It's a gain of 10, and the Browns are going to get a 1st down.
In today's football, where receivers break tackles, make people miss, get upfield for the extra yardage, when you see a play like that where it's caught and he's dropped on the spot, that's a big-time play by the defense.
And he's going to get this down to the 35-yard line. That'll be marked as a 27-yard pickup.
I think by now it's been demonstrated quite well in the NFL that mobility is an attribute, but when you couple it with accuracy, you've really got something going. Able to get outside the pocket and complete the pass. It certainly feels like there are more stars at the tight end position than there were even 10 years ago. And I think it's become more of a glamour position because of the ways it can hurt a defense, and guys want to be involved. They can be in line, close to the line of scrimmage. They can split out like receivers. But hands, route running, speed, and some toughness to go across the middle, you put it all together, you got a heck of a tight end candidate.
They're going to look to throw. Dancing to his left. To the end zone, but it's incomplete.
Boy, you will not see a quarterback of his caliber miss on one like that very often. I mean, there it is, wide open, got the shot, and he misfired.
We talk about, boy, he'll want that one back all the time. He definitely wants that one back. And that's going to be caught for a Browns touchdown. From 6 yards away, as they can now tie the game with the extra point here in the final 2 minutes. A nice throw there by the second-year quarterback.
And I don't believe that was the kind of play he would have made as a rookie, because usually your rookie season is a continuation of your college days. A lot of one read, and if you don't have it, you just take off and go. Now he's settled in the pocket a little bit more, reading the field and getting to his second and sometimes third progression. That was a nice play.
Critical extra point up and good. And we are tied here in the 4th quarter. 17-17 the score. All even to this point as the kick's away. That's fielded in the end zone. And he's able to get it across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down at the 21-yard line. And out come the Dolphins now. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
A good pickup there, 21 yards.
That gets them the first down, but they've still got to move quickly here.
One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. To throw is Marino. And this will be incomplete. I see you nodding your head up and down. It's a very heady decision at this stage of the game. Out of the pocket, nowhere to go. Just get rid of it.
That's a smart play because you're not worried about your completion percentage, and you're also not trying to force it into bad traffic as well. Throw the ball away, live to fight another down.
25 yards there on the catch and run.
Slant route's effective no matter who's running the route and catching the ball. But when you have a receiver of that stature, you have to be a little bit more precise throwing it. You don't have the same catch radius with the bigger targets.
And not able to break away this time as they're going to stop him right around the line of scrimmage.
91.
They'll keep it on the ground. Hampton, just a gain of a yard there, and now it'll be 3rd down.
Early down stuffs will put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority one.
Escaping the pressure right. He's just going to dump this one off to his fullback out of the backfield. Give him 7 on the play, and that's going to make it 4th down. Now they get the timeout. It leads you to wonder, will they kick it here or risk running another play and possibly not getting down in time? We'll see. And with inside of 10 seconds, 8 to be precise, we get whistles and a timeout on the field. So now this one's going to rest on the foot of their second-year kicker. He made his only attempt earlier. This for the win. Right. Thought it might sneak in, but it did not. It's no good. And a costly one there as this game remains tied here in the 4th. That close to taking a 4th quarter lead, but the goalposts, they had other plans.
I thought it was on target. It looked good off his foot, but then doink, off the metal and out. And those are the kind of breaks that can definitely swing a ball game.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. Flush to his right. On the run, he'll let it go deep, right sideline. And that is incomplete. Showed off the arm strength there, but to no avail. 2nd down. And here in overtime, if the team that receives the ball scores a touchdown, it's over. If they don't, we can still have some more football.
That's exactly right. If they go down and kick a field goal, the other team gets a possession to either match it or score a touchdown to win the ball game. If both teams kick field goals, the next team to score wins. But if the receiving team throws a pick 6 or fumbles the ball and it gets picked up by the defense and they score, the game is over at that point.
So we're right back where we started, all even as the kick's away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And all that work, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been had he simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. Heading out as the Cleveland offense now as they get set to take over here. They control their own destiny here. They have the football in overtime. Obviously, a touchdown would win it.
And I think teams around the league are still adjusting to the idea of going downfield, scoring a touchdown wins the game because they were used to just going downfield and trying to get in field goal range to win a game. Still having to make that transition. Let's face it now, the ones who are doing it best know they need to go down, attack, put the ball in the end zone, and not leave it up to a field goal and give the other team a chance.
As we said, they control their own destiny now. A huge play there in overtime. 48 yards. So how about this for field position after the big play? Inside the 15 now as they come up on 1st and 10. This will be caught at about the 6. And he's brought down. 11 more on that one and another first down. Charles, you get into these overtime situations, that's not a bad guy to dial into.
Well, when you have to have plays, especially in a spot as you just described, we're in OT, you've got to go to the guys you can trust and you know are going to make the plays. Well, they say, it's not the X's and the O's, it's the Jimmies and the Joes.
So they're backed up to the 3-yard line, 2nd and goal. Rush coming, and he's taken down.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
He'll look to throw, eluding the pressure right. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete. Overtime with less than 2 minutes to play, and we are still all tied. So now one of the biggest kicks of the night is forthcoming. This to at least get him a lead here in overtime. And his kick is good. And with that, they take the lead here 20-17. They're able to put 3 on the board here on the opening drive of OT, and now up to their defense to try and see if they can hold this one.
I like how you framed it up because obviously this game is not over, right? They go down and kick a field goal, then we head to sudden death. But if the defense can hold, take the ball away, turn it over on downs, this game's over.
And the decision to bring it out, a good one, as he's up a yard or two shy of the 30. Out comes the Miami offensive unit now. They get set to take over. The field goal would push it to sudden death. We just saw the field goal on the other end, but I don't think they are thinking field goal. At least not to start this drive. They're not thinking field goal.
Not at all, because your point is well taken. Yeah, kick the field goal, you push it to sudden death, but you're also kicking off and giving the other team the ball with a chance to kick a field goal and beat you. Get the touchdown, finish the game off. That has to be the mindset.
So the big play gets him across midfield now for 1st and 10. Now what can Marino do here in overtime? Being chased out left. And a flag comes in as that one falls incomplete. Well, let's see who this is on. So he was past the line of scrimmage when he threw it.
And as they say, that's a no-no. Got to be able to understand where you are on the field and not cross the line before throwing the ball downfield.
Flushed out right. And he comes back with one complete. 7 yards on the play, and it'll be 3rd down. First down marker at the 31. It's 3rd down. Marino sets up. And that is incomplete.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything to warrant a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. Now Marino. And the catch made by Johnson. And now this is going to be close. The defense says they stopped him, and they did. The Dolphins can't convert on 4th down. And this Browns defense stands tall. So they've gone for it twice now on 4th down in this game, and both times unsuccessful.
I wish we could hear the headsets now between the head coach and the offensive coordinator. Now that they're 0 for 2, if they get into a 3rd situation, head coach might say, hey, you got anything for this one? Might get radio silence back.
So that'll just about do it for Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. For more, log on to easports.com. It's a win for the Browns, and they're happy in the dog pound as we say so long from Cleveland.